Stop.
Jeff and Rhonda, come on up.
Hey, come on up. Give me a welcome.
All right. Y'all tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Rhonda. I'm still a teacher. This is my 25th year. I plan to retire after this year, kind of because of LU. I've always wanted to retire. I've always wanted to retire as soon as I could, as soon as I reached eligibility. So that will be at the end of this year, in August, actually.
All right.
But because of LU, I can go ahead and retire, because all these years I thought, well, I want to retire, but will I really be able to? Maybe I'll have to work a part-time job, or I was constantly looking for something. Finally found it.
Okay.
I'm Jeff. Our last name's Day, so together we're just the good old days.
Oh.
We were going to have shirts made, but we never did, especially for lifestyles. I spent 31 years in school transportation, mechanic, shop foreman. I retired from that in January. Spent probably the last year at least, or more, maybe up to 5 years, trying to figure out what would I do when I retire, because I'm 58 now and I still want to do something, and I never could figure out what I would do besides go back to do what I always did. But the type A of us come home and started all this, and then we met Chris.
Well, I heard about LU on the radio coming home from church. He was homesick that Sunday, and he always listens to talk radio. I don't like talk radio. But for some reason that day I left it on his station, and I heard the radio show. And I'm like, what is this? And so I get out of the car and go in the house. I said, have you heard of this? You're always listening to this station. Why have we not heard of this?
She heard the word passive income.
Mm-hmm. That'll do it.
Exactly what she heard.
Yeah. So he said, yeah, I think I've heard it. I'm like, well, I'm going to check into it. So that's how we got started.
Awesome. And Chris taught your very first 2-day, right?
He did.
Yes.
Now you get to tell the story of your first single-family investment with Chris. So this is awesome. So, okay. So you kind of already talked about why you joined Lifestyles. You were, teacher, thinking you might have to work in your retirement. But how do you feel about that prospect now? You think you found an alternative here?
Yes.
With passive income?
Definitely.
Awesome. All right. Well, this is your first single-family property, right? So tell us, how'd you find this property, and how'd you feel when you walked into it for the very first time? And yeah.
She didn't want to walk in it for the very first time.
I can't say I blame her.
It was a Chris Wyatt special.
It did have a floor, though.
That's good. That's
yeah.
good. That's positive.
We found it on the MLS, actually.
Did you hear that? You found it yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
On the MLS?
Yes.
Now, who would have taught you how to do that?
Probably you.
Okay.
Chris.
Okay, good.
All right.
Come to the seminar. I'll teach you how to do it.
Well,
I think if I had walked in this house before the experiences with the LU people and all the seminars, and I would have been scared. But really looking at it, I thought we can do this.
yeah.
So
And it's a beautiful transformation. I mean, look at that. They're night and day different. It's just, even as beat up as that house looks like on the outside, anything can be fixed if you have the right team in place, right?
Can you go back one slide? They were telling me a story right before we started. You changed the exterior of the home very little, right?
Yes.
What'd you do to that?
We added that reverse gable little porch top there in the front.
And why did you do that? And what led you to want to do that?
The comps that we were looking at on Quest, almost every one of those had some kind of little top like that or a bigger porch top, and we weren't going to build a big porch on it.
the house next
The
door.
house right next door is the exact duplicate of this house. They were both built in 1988. It's just a mirrored opposite of it. And now those two houses, that one's had some updates and it looks pretty decent, but those two are now night and day because of what we did to this one.
Yeah.
And you let the comp speak for it. I think
Yes.
that's the most important part here is you looked at what the submarket was doing and offering, and you gave the submarket what you needed to. It's not a big touch, but it's enough to say, that's a little lipstick to say, hey, I'm cuter now. Right?
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah. So it looks like you've got a nice little move-in gift already for your resident there, but opened up that wall into the kitchen, made it more open and appealing, a little bit more modern. Beautiful. And how much of the work did you do yourselves? No. Who'd you have?
No work.
How many times did you go to the property while it was under renovation?
Well, we went probably more than most people would, but that's just our personality. We just wanted to make sure that things were moving along. Probably once a month at first, and then
Well, that's
Well,
not very
that
often.
was-
That's not.
That's
yeah.
not often at
That's
all.
great.
That was because
and
he didn't get started for 6 weeks.
Okay.
but probably once a week near the end.
That's about right. Yeah.
She
that's
was
good.
at work and I'm at home because I retired, so she really don't know how many times I went down there.
However, it gets done.
All right. Well, let's talk about the numbers here. So how much cash did you have to come out of pocket with in total to do this deal?
$16,881.
Not too shabby. And how much equity did you capture?
38,196.
Which is a 226% return on their equity. Fantastic job. And on top of that, and you've got this property leased, and your total monthly cash flow with everything is $235 a month, right? So almost
That's correct.
$3,000 a year added to your monthly income. Almost 17% annual cash on cash return. Fantastic.
Yep.
This is a home run right here. You guys did amazing. So after repair value, $195,000. And that's the final number after the refi appraisal, right? And that refi appraisal came in a little bit better than you even expected, isn't that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Little icing on the cake there. So purchase price $72,500. You spent almost the same amount on the rehab, but that beautiful transformation and the numbers work. So fantastic job. You guys did awesome on this one.
Do you remember what the property was listed for?
I do.
It originally was listed at 89.9. They dropped it to 79.9.
We
offered-
offered. Yeah. Sorry.
We offered 70.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We actually offered 68, and then they countered with 70. Well, the 72.5. We ended up just
Yeah.
on the 72.5.
So you threw out a realistic offer where the numbers worked best. And when they went up a little bit, you looked at your numbers here and said, I guess we'll do okay with 226%.
Yeah. We said the numbers. It still
Yes.
worked either way. I mean, we knew how far we could go above that, and it still worked.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Who would do this deal? Anybody do this deal? Now, who would really do this deal? Danny? Danny's one of the realtors. Danny's taking notes from the back there of who raised their hands. He's going to call tomorrow.
All right. Okay, so how has your life changed since joining?
Me or you? Well, just I think for me, just I'm going to be 55 when I retire as a teacher, and just knowing that you have possibly decades of life left, hopefully, just knowing that you're secure through those years without having to go back and find a part-time job or a whole separate career. Spending more time with our two kids and our daughter who loves taking care of foster children. We'd like to be able to help her with that as well. So
Awesome. Beautiful. All right. So what's next? What do y'all have planned short-term, long-term goals from here?
Well, we just started with the renter that we got in there, so we want to make sure that we stay knowledgeable in what we're doing. We're going to keep coming to the 2 days and keep going to the portal and learning. This says we want to make one more multifamily passive investment, but that's been made.
All right.
Hey.
Very good.
Right. I mean, it was
There you go.
Excellent.
So how many multifamily deals does that make for you?
6.
6. All right.
Very good.
Yeah, 18 months we've been in this, and we knew absolutely nothing about real estate when she came home with passive.
Passive income brain.
So yeah,
Very good. And long term, you want to keep doing some single family and more passive, and you've got a special project that you're
oh sure,
working
yeah,
on.
my
So-
69 Ford that's actually supposed to be 100. They didn't make a 150 and 69.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But anyway, that's
Get over it, Nicole.
that's part of the family. I've had that truck since I was 15, and
Oh wow, that's
it's
so
been
cool.
It's old now.
yeah, it's pretty old. Still drive it. I was gonna put a picture of it in there, and I forgot.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, you can send one to me later. I want to see it. So
Look him up on Facebook. It's
yeah.
you don't see him, you see the truck.
Oh, I think I have seen that actually.
Yeah, it's actually my son in it. He thinks I gave it to him on his 18th birthday, but it's still titled in my name.
All right. And who's on your team? Who helped make this happen? Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Of course, Brandon. In the beginning, he just kind of. He's pretty stout. I don't know if any of y'all met him, but I feel like he threw me on his shoulders and we took off. It was just awesome. Adrian has helped us quite a bit, and probably for the last half of this whole deal, Nicole has just been right there. I have called her so many times. I don't know if you're like me, but texting just don't get it all out there, so I just call. And I thank you, Nicole, for answering my phone calls and calling me back. Really appreciate that.
Absolutely. And you got some vendors that helped make it happen too. I think I saw a couple of them in the room here. Got
Paul
Lifestyles
Starnes.
Finance back there in the back, and
Paul, Kim Sporich, and Pam Cassidy helped us a lot during the hard money process.
cool.
And then Danny Gentry has helped us a whole lot on the realty side as well.
Very
He
good.
was,
Danny's
was
in the
on
back. Danny,
vacation.
give away. There he is. There's Danny right there.
yeah.
Okay.
I think I saw your insurance guy in the back earlier too.
Yeah, Reno.
Reno with
Yeah, is Reno
integrity.
still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
The vendors are awesome. We highly recommend you using Lifestyles vendors. I will want to give an extra little shout out for Lifestyles Finance. As Chris has either told you or will tell you that you're going to run out of money, which I think he's already mentioned it once.
Yeah, and I pointed to you.
We ran out of money, and so we did our cash out refi on our personal home through Lifestyles, and we did the hard money loan through Lifestyles, and we did the refi through Lifestyles. Everyone at Lifestyles Finance is amazing, and the best part is the more of these you come to, you're going to see them here. You're going to see one or all of them here, and that networking is just amazing.
Awesome. All right.
Greenworks inspections are top notch. They really are.
Yep. I like their reports. They're very detailed. So,
Very thorough.
so any advice you have for the first time visitor tonight?
That's your
Well, my advice that I've always said is really trust yourself. I know everybody always says, just jump in and do it. And I do say that as well. But we were talking with Chris before we started, and he said, did you think you could do this? No, I just always thought it was something other people would do, and I never saw us being able to do it. So once you have the training and you go to the classes and you watch the videos and all the things, just trust that you can do it. Because if you can't, you can always call. You can always call somebody that'll get you back on track.
Yeah, definitely not alone. So, cool. All right. Y'all want to take some questions from the crowd here? Any questions?
Got a question online.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Would you have added the porch if you did not have to replace the roof?
That's a good question.
What did he say?
If
Would you have added the covered porch if you didn't have to do the roof, replace the roof?
I would have considered not doing that if we had to replace the roof, but I knew looking at the house for the first time it was going to get a roof.
Yeah.
Because it looked horrible, whether it was dry and worked good. So
That's a really good question. I never thought about that, but
yeah, I don't
You
know.
didn't have to think about that, did you?
No.
we didn't.
All right.
So maybe. We got a question over here with Jerry. Who did the rehab?
The rehab was not a Lifestyles vendor.
Yeah, so we don't allow them to pump them.
I highly recommend using Lifestyles vendors.
There you go. I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell us how you found your tenant?
I'll let you take that
I'm-
one.
Did you lease it
I
yourself? How'd you lease it?
I struggled with my type A to stay away from Facebook Marketplace. We didn't have to go there. We Zillow is where it came from. So we
Sign in the yard for a couple of months,
Yeah.
and then Zillow.
as soon as I put the sign in the yard, somebody pulled up, go down the end of the road and putting little signs with the arrow, house for rent, and a guy stops, and I'm thinking he's going to tell me, don't put your sign there. And he said, you got a house for rent? And so I pointed him to it. And then the phone calls from the sign in the yard, I know I answered at least 100, maybe 200 phone calls.
Wow.
But a lot of it was how much deposit, and they hang up, and a few interested, but putting it on Zillow, Realtor.com, Apartments.com is where she came from.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
good. Awesome. All right. Any other questions?
Questions?
I know you're only 18 months into this. Did you ever see yourself up here on stage giving back in this way, shape, or form?
No, I was actually going to try to work that in to look at my wife and say, I can't believe we're up here. Because we were actually sitting, I think, right where we're sitting tonight, and there is no way I would have ever thought we would be one of those. But we are.
Well, I've said a few times, oh, wouldn't it be really cool to be up there? Because it seems like only celebrities get up here.
Well,
Hey,
the
exclusive club.
the
This is
good old
exciting.
days
Woo.
are celebrities now. So.
But he's like, oh, no, I don't think we could do that. So here we are.
Well, I guess next we got to get you on the radio. Yeah. Hey? That's real celebrity status right there, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
All
Well, thank you
right.
so
Well, very
much for
good.
coming in and giving back.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
y'all.
y'all.